from this to this, or even from this to this in Lightroom. Say no more because I got you covered. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a Dose Artistry, a photographer, YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. This is my official YouTube channel. Here I post creative photography, artistic photography, my editing style, and my behind the scenes. If you want to learn photography from me, you want to learn my photography style, or you want to learn photography in general, please hit the subscribe button, like, and even leave your comments. I would love to know what are your opinions and the type of videos you would love to see up next on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys, or I'm going to be teaching you guys simple steps on how to make your images or photos cinematic in Lightroom. Before you can call an image cinematic, it has to convey emotion and tell a story. So there are 4 things you need to watch out for before you can, or before an image can be considered cinematic. 1, the lights. 2, the color. 3, the scene. And the 4th one, it has to have like a storytelling element in the picture, just like the first picture that I displayed earlier. You can see my model was reading a book, she was doing something, interacting. So that is the storytelling I am talking about. So without no further ado, I am going to go straight right into Lightroom. Welcome to Lightroom. So these are the images we are going to be using for today's tutorial. I currently have a color grading challenge going on right now on Instagram and on Facebook. So it depends the time you're going to be watching this video. But if you want to learn or you want to practice with my picture, I'm going to have the link to these pictures in my description. So I'm going to pick one of these photos so we could proceed with our color grading. I'm going to go with, okay, let's see this. Okay, I think this is a good choice for me. So I am going to be very straightforward with this video. I'm going to show you the process, the exact way I color graded these images. So before you can color grade, or before you start color grading, or rather before we start the color grading, I am going to give you, or I am going to tell you some few simple steps. So firstly, what we are going to do for this image to look cinematic, we are going to flatten the dynamic range a little, and also we are going to push the warmer tones to the highlights and bring the cooler tones to the shadows. So firstly, to do that, I'm going to leave the temp set to 0. I'm going to leave the tint set to 0. I'm going to probably maybe just expose it to plus, let's see, 15. I think 15 is okay. Then I'm going to reduce the contrast. So like I said, I'm trying to flatten the dynamic range so it will look more cinematic. 30, I think, no, let me just bring it down to around 50. I can always come back to readjust and give it the depth that I want. So I'm going to come down to the highlight. I'm going to bring my highlight to around -10. Then probably lift my shadows to around +10. Then okay, let me say 20. Let me bring it to 20. Then I'm going to bring my whites to -6. Then I'm going to leave my black set to 0. Don't forget, we can always come back to adjust any of these lights. So the last thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to leave my texture set to 0, clarity set to 0, the DA set to 0, vibrance set to 0, but I'm going to bring down the saturation to around maybe -11 is fine. So I'm not going to be working or touching the tone curves now. I'm going to go straight to the HSL or the color, but I'm going to come back to the tone curve. But I love to work on the colors first before using the tone curves. So firstly, this is for the reds. I'm going to bring it down to -10 or -11. Saturation, I'm going to leave it set to 0. Luminance, I'm going to leave it set to 0. Then let's come to the orange. I'm going to bring it down around -10. Then the saturation, I'm going to bring it down to around -10. Then the luminance, I'm going to leave it set to 0 for now. I might probably come back to adjust it. She's not like a melanin skin tone person, so I don't want the skin to be too tan, so probably I might just bring it around maybe -5. Okay, then I come to the yellows. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to push this a little to the warmer side, to the green side rather, around +10. Then the saturation, I'm going to bring this to around maybe +11 is fine. Then I'm going to bring the luminance to -10. Then the greens, I'm going to pull this all the way up to +50. So I am trying to make the greens that are available here in this picture, I'm trying to make them have more like the aqua color instead of the original green, because I'm actually working with the team. I'm actually working with colors, so I want colors that are going to be like corresponding, not just leaving or adding or bringing any colors in. I think that is the essence, because like I said in my previous video, color tells a story, so it depends the story you are trying to tell. So the greens, I'm going to bring this all the way down. I'm going to reduce the saturation so it will have the aqua color like I said. Then the luminance, I'm going to bring it all the way to -30. Then the aqua, I'm not going to touch anything here. I'm going to leave everything set to 0. Come down to the blues. I'm going to bring this all the way to -40. -40. Then I'm going to bring the saturation down to okay, let me say 50. I can always come back to adjust if there's need to. I'm going to leave the luminance set to 0. Now let me come to the purples. We have like some purples in the blues. You can see the backlight here, so I'm just going to bring the hue saturation down to the blue side to maybe around -30. Then I'm going to bring down the saturation as well to around -40. Then I'll leave my luminance set to 0. Now let's come to the magenta. I'm going to probably leave this set to 0, then maybe bring down the saturation. Then I'm going to leave the luminance set to 0. So I'm good here. So I'm going to come down to the color grading. So here we have the shadows, we have the midtones, and we have the highlights. Don't forget, what we are trying to achieve is we are trying to push the warmer tones to the highlights, then get the cooler tones in the shadows. So right here, let's start. Let's work with the shadows first. So I'm going to bring this all the way to. I can always use here. Okay, let me just try here. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to increase the saturation so we see where this color is affecting in general. So this is definitely too much. I'm going to bring down the saturation, but I just want to see the colors I'm bringing to the shadows. Okay, I think, like I said, I'm going to incorporate. I'm trying to bring the cooler tones to the shadows. So I think I love these blues actually. So I'm going to bring down the saturation to around maybe bring it down to 15. Then I'm going to leave the luminance set to 0. Now let's go to the midtones. Okay, let's bring the saturations to some level so we'll be able to see where this is affecting. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I really love the warmer tones I'm getting from this, so I'm going to leave it in between the greens and the teal color, just around this point. So but I'm going to bring down the saturation to around let's say, okay, 13 is fine by me. I'm going to leave the luminance set to 0. Then here the highlights, let's see what we could do here. So just like I said, the fact that we are trying to push the warmer tones to the highlights and bring the cooler tones to the shadows does not mean you are going to bring the slide here to the highlights, or to the warmer tones, sorry, or bring the shadows to there are times that it depends on the pictures you are trying to color grade. There are times that you probably want to bring this slider on this shadow to the warmer tones, so to give you that accurate color. It depends what you're seeing here. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you bringing the shadows, the shadow slide to the blue area, or bringing the highlights side to the warmer tone. So I just hope you understand this. So let's go to the highlights. Here I'm going to bring the saturation to some level and then see. Let's see. I think I like it around here. Let's zoom in so I can see the warmer tones on the highlights. Then okay, I think I'm good with this, but I'm probably just going to bring down the saturation to around maybe 15 or 20. Then I'm going to leave the luminance set to 0. So now let's come down to the blending option. I'm going to bring this, let's see, I'm definitely bringing this down to 0. Then I'm going to leave the balance set to 0 as well. So now that we are done with the color grading and the color and the basis, don't forget we still have the tone curves to work with. So now let's go to the tone curves. You can see this picture is still looking the picture is still looking a bit flat or too flat, so we are still working on it. But in order for you to make an image cinematic, or this is my style, I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, it's actually subjective. So this is my style, this is how I do it. So the next thing, let's go to the tone curves, then the whites. So this is the shadow, this is the mid-tone, and this is the highlight. So let's just leave some breakers here, here, and here. So I'm going to try and create like an S curve. So you can see the moment I lift the shadows, you can see what it's doing. So you can see. So we are trying to add some open the shadows. So I'm trying to flatten the dynamic range. So, okay, so I'm going to leave this probably maybe around here for the time being. So I'm going to bring this down a little. Then I'm going to push this up a little. Let me see. Then probably push here up a little. Okay, so let's see the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. This is the before, this is the after. You can see how beautiful this is already turning out with just these simple steps that we are already taking. So I think I am okay with this for now. I'm going to come down. I'm not going to touch the reds, the greens. I'm just going to come down to the blues. So I'm going to add some few breakers here, here, and also here. So just something similar to what we did earlier before. I'm going to bring some blues to the shadows like this. I think I'm okay. Okay, let's see, just like the same thing we did before. Then let's push. push. Okay, let's see the before and after. The before and after, guys. You can see how beautiful this is already turning out. So I'm good with this. I'm going to come here. So let's just go to detail. Maybe add some. Let's zoom in. So you are not trying to make it to look like really sharp. So you want to have, you still want to have that shallow depth of field and just have everything cool, subtle and smooth. So I'm going to close here. Then I'm going to come down here to effects. Then I'm going to add some vignettes because I want my subject to stand out more. So I'm going to add some vignettes around here. Let me bring down the midpoint here. Then I'm going to push the highlights a little, then feather it out a little. Let's see the before and after. Before and after, you can see how this is a game changer. This is the before and this is the after. So I'm going to add some grains, maybe around plus 20. Let's see what this is doing. Let me bring it down to 0. You can see, but we don't want it to be too much, but because we want it to have like the film look, so it's the reason I'm adding this. Maybe around plus 15 is fine by me. So this is it. So lastly, I would love to touch the calibration. I usually do not work with this like most often, but for some reasons, let me see what I could do here. Okay, I'm leaving this set to 0. Let's see. Leaving this. Okay, I think let me bring this to, I think I love what this is doing to the skin, so I'm just going to bring this down to around -5 or something. So let me see the blue primary. No, I don't want this. So I love this and I am really good, and I am good with this. So if you want to see some of my other tutorials where I teach how to color grade with Photoshop, because I know some photographers or some creative, they love to do their retouching, clean up their image in Photoshop and just have it color graded there without having to bring it to another platform like YouTube or Capture One. So I have a tutorial teaching how to color grade in Photoshop. So if you want to check that, I'm going to leave the link in my description, or probably just bring it up here to the right side or to the left side. So the last thing to do now is we can save this preset to let me see, let me create a new group, cinema color. I don't know if this is correct. I'm going to leave it like that anyways. Then let me save this preset, cinema. Okay, so I already have this preset saved, so I can just come down here to cinema color, then click on another image, then just have it here. You can see how beautiful this is. This is really looking stunning. So I can click here, I can always choose and just pick around, then have the preset. Then I can do this too, then have the preset. Thank you. So you can see how beautiful this is looking for you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking till the end of this tutorial. If you want to follow step by step how I color graded this image, or even use my image, I'm going to leave the link in my description, or on my description rather. Please do not watermark my pictures. It's mine and not yours. So please, I'm putting my pictures there or my images there for you to rehearse, Please do not watermark my pictures. If you enjoyed this tutorial, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and even leave your comments. Support the boy now. Support the boy. Thank you and thanks for watching. My neighbor no go allow me here. Like, they are always banging that door. Please forgive them. Thank you.